Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today I would like to make chicken chickpea stew. I love going to different restaurants, like different ethnic restaurants, and trying all kinds of foods. I love exploring flavors, and once I like something, I come home and try to guess what kind of spices were in specific dish I had and create my own, putting tweaks here and there for my own liking. And this is one of those recipes. I love the colors. I love all the veggies. I love the flavors. Of course, this is going to be dinner for me and my husband tonight. And what I like to pair with it is lightly coconut flavored rice. So I will have some water mixed with kind of coconut cream and then boil the rice in that mixture. My favorite rice, basmati. Welcome to my kitchen and thank you for watching. Ingredients for today: diced tomatoes with some green chilies for a little extra spice, fire roasted diced tomatoes, coconut milk, vegetable broth, onion, bell peppers, carrots, garlic, couple of celery sticks, chickpeas, ground chicken, spinach, balsamic vinegar, my favorite basmati rice with some coconut milk, and as far as spices, curry powder, garam masala, salt, pepper, ginger, smoked sweet paprika, and turmeric. I have diced bell peppers. I have orange and red, some carrots and celery sticks, and also an onion. And I have a little bit more than the usual amount for 4 servings because we have people coming over and this is what I want to serve tonight. Under the video, I will put all the ingredients needed for about 4 servings. And what I want to start with is sauteing the onions. I will have onions on one pan and then carrots on the other. Okay, onions on one pan and then carrots with celery sticks another, and then I have a third pot with the vegetable broth. Carrots take the longest to cook, so as soon as my carrots are done roasting, I will put them in that vegetable broth and start boiling. Okay, looks like my carrots are ready to go in the pot. And on the same pan, I will put bell peppers. So roasting veggies brings the sweetness more flavor. That's why I want to do it separately before I put everything together. Okay, onions look done also. I keep forgetting how heavy that pan is. It's a challenge here. And the last thing, spinach. And on those bell peppers, I can put a little bit of garlic. As soon as I see this little charcoal on them, those will be ready. And on that spinach, a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. So of course, spinach takes only a couple minutes, the quickest. Bell peppers, about 4 minutes. And again, the longest time to cook to make it soft are the carrots. So the carrots I will leave to boil for about 15 minutes before I put anything else in. Okay, now it is time for those diced tomatoes with green chilies. So what I want to put in is that balsamic. So this balsamic is giving me another layer of flavor. A little bit salt, a little bit pepper. Bell peppers will go into it in a minute, and some of those spices. So the other can of tomatoes I have, I will put it in a blender and blend it because this will give me that thicker layer to create sauce for my stew. So pinch of that garam masala, turmeric, curry powder, pinch of everything in the tomatoes, because on the end, when my stew is almost ready, I will taste it and then decide if it needs anything else. It's better to divide your spices in half so you don't have too much of it. It's easy to add and it's not easy to take it out once you put it in. Okay, and smoked paprika. Let's say 2 pinches. And a pinch of ginger. Ginger can be strong flavor, so unless you really like ginger, be careful with it. Okay, now I can put my bell peppers with it. When I made it first time, my husband was out of town, and then I had it for dinner, and I told him, oh, next time you're in town, I'm making it again. You have to try it. I love it. Okay, now again, it is ready to go in the big pot. And again, I forget how heavy that pan is. Oh. Okay, everything else can go in the dishwasher and this will boil on slow for a few minutes. Carrots are softer now. It's time to put the chickpeas in. And this will simmer for another 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I can blend those tomatoes I told you about. Those fire roasted tomatoes. Okay, so this will make my stew thickened. So whatever I did right now is vegan or vegetarian version. There is no meat, no animal products in here. And I have a friend who is vegan, so I will put portion for her, and that chicken, when I put it in, it's for everybody else. So last thing to do for the vegan version or vegetarian version is put the spinach in and cream it with that coconut milk. I will add about half a can. And now for us who love the meat, time to get the chicken going. I will have the ground chicken put in with some spices. Okay, a little bit of garlic, pinch of everything that I put before. So pinch of garlic, pinch of turmeric, garam masala, smoked paprika, curry, salt, pepper, and a little bit of soy sauce. And once chicken is done, I'll combine it and the stew is ready. 2 versions, vegetarian, vegan, and meat lovers. In Moroccan style cooking, I noticed there is lots of dry fruits put in, lots of apricots, and some of these recipes that I came across calls for apricot. Cut pieces of the apricot and incorporate it with the tomatoes to give more sweetness. What I like to use instead is a little bit of maple syrup. Not much, maybe 1 teaspoon for the whole pot, but this will create that extra sweet flavor. And let's not forget about that garlic. Salt, pepper, soy sauce, curry powder. If you guys love cinnamon, you can put it in. That is also Moroccan flavor. My husband doesn't like it that much, so I omit it. Smoked paprika. And once chicken is cooked, I will put it into all the veggies and dinner is ready. Well, I still have to cook the rice, but that would be the last part. Honestly, I cannot wait to eat dinner. So I'm excited, almost ready. The only thing left is to boil that rice. I have mixed half water with half coconut cream, and in that mixture, I will cook my rice according to the package directions. So mine takes about 10 minutes. Once the rice is ready, I'll plate it and show you the end result, the full plate full of goodness. Hi again. I have decided to put a little clip together for those of you who are wondering why I have this bump on my hand. And when I move my hand, it becomes bigger or smaller, it moves around. This is a ruptured muscle, and I know it's very visible. I have it because I was in a car accident about 5.5 years ago, and I do not remember the accident. I woke up in a hospital couple days later and slowly things were coming together. I am very thankful I do not remember it because I might be afraid of driving and I feel comfortable driving a car right now. My husband and I, we were just driving on a main street and someone was coming from a side street, not paying attention to the stop sign, driving pretty fast, straight into our car. The car was damaged, not drivable. I had broken ribs. Some of my backbones were cracked. That was the other thing, the ruptured muscle, and of course, bruises. The worst thing though was I was pregnant, 5 months pregnant with my daughter, and at the time in the hospital, my husband was told by the doctors that my chances of survival are about 10%, and for my daughter, probably zero. So that was the worst thing, the stress. The rest of the pregnancy, I had to sleep on that hospital bed in my own house, not laying down, but kind of sitting and worried, just worried about how the baby's doing, if the baby's going to be okay or not. Even today, with all the technology, nobody can tell you 100% if you're gonna have a healthy baby after something like this or not. But she is. She is just a bunch of energy, crazy little girl. She cannot sit still. She keeps me on my toes. So again, if you wonder why I'm so skinny and I do eat everything I bake, because I run after her. I run after her morning till night. So she gives me all the exercise I need. I don't need any gym. I have gym at home. If I wanted to fix that muscle, I could. The doctor can sew the muscle together, and it will take about 6 to 8 weeks me being in a cast. So I'll be exchanging my bump for a scar, and for me this is not worth it. It doesn't hurt me, it doesn't bother me. There are more important things in life than little something like this, and I decided it's okay, I can live with that. But again, I know it's visible, and some of you might wonder, like, what is this? So this is the explanation. That's why I have this bump, and it's gonna stay with me until the day I die. I'm happy I'm alive right now because, like I said, 10% chances of survival, and for my baby, zero. I'm thankful I'm alive. I'm pretty healthy. I love the baking, I love the cooking, and I have 2 healthy children. So there's lots to be thankful for. Just wanted to let you know why, and wish you a great day, great weekend, and happy baking. Thank you.